his public persona, because there's no smoke and mirrors. It is very clear, very straightforward, what the team is and what's going on. And that actually has made me really enjoy watching this team because you know what's coming. Steve?
I was going to say Riley Moss, but since he's off the board, I'm going to go with Vance Joseph. I think that um, last season, they did well, but I feel like it was on a new level this season. I think that he's calling the defense he wants to call. I think we've got the pieces that we need to do that. I mean, obviously, we're going to want to bring in some inside linebacker support, but I think he's done a great job, and it'll be sad when he becomes a head coach again because he won't be here, I suspect.
Gavin?
All right. I'm going to go on the defensive side of the ball. Props to the whole defense. I think Vance Joseph saved his job. It was a little in question at the end there, but I think he put together an incredible squad facing the adversity he faced the year before. Specifically, I want to focus on two players, Zach Allen and Nick Bonito. Those guys balled out. I mean, both were in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. Zach Allen was first in sacks, first in hits, first in total pressures at his position, and Bonito 15 sacks on the year. I mean, those like Von Miller numbers. Like, it was nuts. He was second in sacks. And he was up for a viable candidate and it's his third year. So nothing but high hopes for him, and to see him wreck opposing AFC quarterbacks in the next year. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm high on him, but props to the whole defense. And Sean knew it. I mean, in that Bengals game, that's why we didn't go for two, even though we should have gone for two. In hindsight. But, his thinking was right. He's like, my defense can do this. Like, my defense can stop, this high-powered Bengals offense. And we did it. And we should have had an opportunity to go down and do it on. But he leaned on his defense. He trusted them, and they delivered in the moment when it mattered the absolute most. They delivered. The offense did not, but they did their job. And for that, I give them mad props. So big up to the defense.
Well, we do have one person that's watching, and Sean says hi to us, and I'm sure he'll have a bunch of questions for us later, because he always does.
I assume one of them will be, what was that dancing?
That's going to be part of the best, because I did it, and I think it's amazing. You guys missed it. There's a clip I'm going to show of us at the bar and dancing, and it's my first at my own form of media, so don't laugh too hard, Gavin.
You're doing a good job.
Huh?
You're doing a good job.
Okay, so my better is, and this is going to be a weird one for me, because all anybody remembers on our side with him is the blocked field goal. But I think Will Lutz was much better this year than he's been in the past. Yeah. I don't think he's as clutch as some of our other kickers have been. I know Steve still wishes that we had McManus.
Even now?
No, no.
But that was my better. I do think he was much better. I would also, I know he would be in some of people's the best, but I also think Mims he was a lot better this year. He almost had that punt return TD in Cleveland. I agree, he's our number 2. He would probably be a slot or a number 3 on other schedules. So we'll see what happens with him. So for me, it's Will Lutz and Marvin Mims. Okay, so the last one we're going to do is the best. And I want to say, you can't say Bo Nix, because that's the general one that I think all of us would kind of agree that out of what happened this year, the boy came out, he balled and he played, and he made everybody who said he wasn't going to be anything have to eat their words, because if we had had a couple of games at the end of the season go a different way, I think we would have he would have been right up there with Jaden Daniels in terms of who the rookie of the year would be. I think he had better numbers. Sean will disagree with me, and probably all of us on that.
Yeah, I would disagree with you, but that's okay.
But that's what happens when you win games and you have a good playoff game. We were just overpowered in our playoff game. But so
On the
with
first
that,
half.
we're gonna start with Todd. What was your best?
Okay, and I probably should have given you a heads up on this, Tina, so you can cue it up. But my best is incredibly simple, and was a very easy choice. There were two hardcore adrenaline producing moments in the season that I would rank up against any. I've been watching since '77. Since there are two plays that are as big a plays that have ever been made in the regular season history. The first was against the Raiders, and the first time we were in the throwback uniforms, honoring the '77 team, and we didn't start out that game very well. I think we stumbled in our first drive, and then the Raiders got the ball and took it down the field, and then Patrick Surtain took that 100-yard pick six, and it was this moment of before and after. Like from that moment on, we became a competitive, relevant football team again. And remember, at that point we were 0-2. So the feeling of that reminded me of Champ when he intercepted Brady in the playoffs, but it's a regular season game. Yeah. And then the second one, which I was fortunate enough to see in person, was against the Colts when that was an important game for us, and we were really losing momentum. Remember, Jonathan Taylor scored that touchdown, but inexplicably fumbled it on the 1-inch line. But we had really lost momentum in the second half. And then Nick caught that backward, the lateral pass, and took it in. And that was another one where you just felt, wow, this is what it feels like to be a Bronco fan and to have a good team. So those are two moments I think that will stand out for me over the lifetime of my Bronco fandom.
So you mean this one?
Where he pulled the Marshawn going into the end zone?
This one.
I mean this one.
Let me get the sound on.
Boom!
Couldn't believe we were losing to Gardner Minshew at that point. And then, yeah.
Surtain going all the way for a Denver touchdown.
Chills.
Yep.
Chills. So much chills on that. Yeah. And then the other one you mentioned was Nick Benito's pick.
Or use the run game or quarterback run game. They set up Mitchell to be a
dumbest play. So easy.
Love it.
Oh, there it is.
Yep. Oh, I had him queued up. I have them queued up. So we've got probably what everybody would probably say. But yeah, those were two game changers. Absolute game changers in that. So, Steve, what do you think is the best?
A little bit riffing off of what Todd is doing there. I think just the vibes. The vibes were so good this season. Like after several seasons, well, it's like, let's even go back a little further then. We had the Peyton Manning years where it was like, we knew we were going to get playoffs. So it was like, it's fine. Like, let me know when we get there. And then, okay, now we're into the real games. Like this, then we go into this terrible period where it's like, we just keep trying to talk ourselves into this somehow working out every season, and it just getting worse and worse. This season, I didn't feel stressed. It was like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna be fine. No, we're gonna make the playoffs. It's gonna be okay. I mean, there were moments where it was just like a little bit of grinding the teeth there, but it just felt good. And like now we're, the combine's going, all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. Whoever we get, I'm sure it'll be good. we got our quarterback. Who cares about the Senior Bowl and all that? Like, whatever. Let's go. Ready for the season.
Agree. Yeah. We always felt like we were in the games. These boys were grinding it out. They were you never saw quit anywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, that definitely did that. And Gavin,
Yeah.
I
like that vibe. I just want to talk a little bit more about that because I do like that. Like this season did have a different feel to it because, the whole quarterback carousel, that was just pure pain and not much like crazy enthusiasm because we were just running recycled guys through the program, seeing what worked, seeing what didn't. Then we had Manning. Then, we had the carousel also after Manning, but it's just, and then we got Russ, and it was like these big high caliber quarterbacks had a brick wall at the end of them. It's like, okay, we have to perform now because they're at the end of their rope. They're going to retire soon. We have this ticking clock. And that's what made the Manning thing like so much pressure because we knew it was the last one and we were never going to get this chance again and all that. Right now, we're in blue sky territory. And the future is in front of us. That we can't even see the brick wall. It's as far as the eye can see. We're like, yeah, this is rookie year. Whatever happens this year is a development year, and we're just going to have fun with it and let it roll. And we got to the damn playoffs in our first year. Like, who would have thought? It was just beat the Chiefs this year. That was last year, really. And if we sniffed the playoffs this year, I was going to be happy. And we made the playoffs, so that was awesome. But my best, also a bit of a gimme, but Defensive Player of the Year, PS2. He is the soul of this team. He is our spiritual, physical leader. He's not he's kind of a soft-spoken guy, but he leads with his play on the field, and he sets the high water mark like Manning did when he was here, that everybody tries to play up to. And the fact that he's on the defense makes it even better because everybody's trying to chase him. So the fact that we got him Defensive Player of the Year, I can't believe Champ never got it when he was here. He definitely deserved it. And so to get PS2 felt a little bit redemption for those years, and it was just awesome to see.
My best was a couple of things, but Sean has like a thing in here, and I think it's very true, is I do think we have one of the best competent ownership groups right now. Like they are willing to put money where they need to put their money and everything. And Sean is a Commanders guy, and they've gone through the same thing we've gone through, where they're rebuilding and everything.
Them even more. Their ownership was terrible.
Yeah, they had a lot more to work with than we had. I would not wish Dan Snyder on my worst enemy at all. So yeah, that was one of he also mentioned the Bucks game, which I will agree that was also probably one of the best games.
I was there. I saw Bo Nix first home win. His first touchdown was right in front of me. It was so awesome. That stadium was quiet as hell. I loved it. It was awesome. Second.
And then my best, someone else, Todd and Steve had mentioned this when I was saying, like, what clips should I play? I'm going to play what I consider to be one of the best. Like, I think all of our mouths fell open and couldn't believe that this catch was made. So, of course, I'm talking about Bo Nix to Marvin Mims in the Cleveland game. So hold on while I get this. I will get better at this the more I do it.
On a big play if they wanted to take it, but doing a lot of moving in the pocket that's unnecessary.
This game was a
11.
barn burner.
Touchdown!
Like it's so close, and I'm like, I'm not even sure. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, is that a good pass? Is that something he should have done? He should have, because he got a touchdown out of it. So who cares?
That was a Tom Brady pass,
and he was gone.
Yeah.
He made that new blue jersey look good.
Yeah, that DNVR had a two, but one was what we just saw, and the other one was from the top. It's even better. I couldn't find it again, but that to me was just the epitome of what this team was. Like Bo finding something somewhere that he just takes a shot and goes, and all of that. So I know we originally had talked about maybe talking about the new assistant head coach, and I was going to go into this like, before I've done overreaction versus reality, I was going to be like, is it an overreaction to say that we're essentially the Saints 2.0? But then I saw something on the internet, and I watched I watched on TV, and we have to talk about this. So you guys know who Dominic Foxworthy is, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Did you guys see what he said today?
Oh.
No.
Okay, so let me get the banner up, put up overreaction versus reality. This is the and Sean asked about it because Sean had seen it too, so he kind of knows what I'm talking about here. Dominic Foxworthy went on television and said that he thought Matthew Stafford would be a very good fit with the Broncos.
That's weird because he used to play for us, and he usually sticks up for us. But that's what. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Wait.
He can bring it in. He'll bring the team to the next level. I was like,
A slow news cycle.
well, my words to my friends on the round table was, I think Dominic's on crack, and they put him on the air because, like, why? Why would you think, with what Bo has done this year, that you bring in? Because, I mean, Stafford's not going to sit on the bench. Up to you.
I'm just gonna say, CTE is a real thing, and I hope it gets checked. Yeah, it doesn't even make like. Do you still think you're on the Broncos, and it's still like 2007, and we're trying to look for a quarterback? Like, what's I don't actually understand.
Yeah, I don't. Where's the lie? Keep Bo Nix and have him study under Matt Stafford. Like what? Like no, I don't. Anyway, that's funny.
No, it was funny. If I think it was like Hasselback or one of the guys were like, no, that's not happening. Like, come on. And in my head, I also was sitting there thinking, like, we're not to rip too much of my friend Handy's team. We're not the Falcons. We're not going to have a guy, a veteran, and then have a draftee come in like in reverse.
Yeah,
so,
reverse, right?
Yeah, that was. I mean, I don't know where that's coming from. Like, I don't think.
I mean, if Stafford wants to play backup, he'll be the best backup in the league.
Right, I'm down for that.
That's cool.
Hey,
Well, my thing is why the hell are the Rams? Yeah, Sean also said he played devil's advocate, saying like he was doing it for views and clicks, and it'll get all the Broncos fans to click on that link.
This
and
is
everything.
the problem with NFL talk in February.
Yeah,
exactly.
Which goes to what you said about mock drafts in February. They're pieces of crap.
We need free agency to start. We need the draft. We need OTAs. We need to get this thing going.
Hey, Combine starts this week, so
right.
There's something there.
And Combine is even, to me, I mean, I think it's good to go out and see them, but even the Combine gets a little out of control because now the rumor, did you hear the other rumor? That Rob Gronkowski is going to come back.
He's
and
training
play
in
for the
jail.
Broncos.
And we're going to be called the Gronkos.
I have an even better rumor to spread, and check it on my Substack. Subscription's only $50, and yeah. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Now here is the one. Here's maybe one. We'll go with one more. Cortland Sutton. Do we think we should keep him, or give him an extension, or do you think we need to? What do you guys think on that one?
Depends who we draft. I mean, he's got his final year of his contract, and we've already extended him and thrown him a bunch of bones. So it kind of seems like it's the end of the rope. But I mean, he finally had a good quarterback thrown to him this year, and he stepped up and was the man. So I don't know. Yep. I mean, he's going to be 30 this year, something like that. So he's getting a little on the towards the backside of his career, but if he wants mega, Jamar Chase money or even close to T. Higgins money, you'd probably want that. I don't know. We've got some money to play with. We
Yeah,
do.
he'll be 30 when the season starts,
Yeah.
roughly.
So this might be Cortland's last year with the Broncos. I don't know.
I think you just kind of wait and see, how the draft plays out and all of that. I mean, ultimately you're hoping that one of our younger guys is going to go to that next level. Mims has obviously stepped up a bit, but he plays a little different role than Sutton. So it's like you need that big body person.
Vele.
Yeah. So Vele, that might be it. So I think I figure like they're just going to see like how does the young talent develop as we go into next season, and then if they feel like they need to extend Sutton, then that's when it'll happen.
I guess I would say I absolutely endorse re-signing him. He had a great year last year with Russell too. He's got great chemistry with Bo. I think that he's a calming influence for Bo. I don't think we don't have the talent in the wide receiver room to screw around with our number one.
Nope.
And he's still got something in the tank. He loves playing for the Broncos. I think he wants to be part of something special here. So, and I do think they'll extend him this offseason sooner rather than later, and I'll be happy about it.
Sure. Get ahead of the market.
Sean my friend Handy played off your name. A little tidbit there, Gavin. But Sean also brought this guy's name up. This is not a bad idea.
We have Tim Patrick on the Broncos. His name is Vele. He is the poor man's Tim Patrick. He's burgeoning. He will get there. I think he's going
To be fair, originally Tim Patrick was the poor man's Tim Patrick. So
I do think if we going on, I think if we make a big free agency signing, it's going to be in wide receiver, and so then maybe Sutton moves to the 2, and perhaps he'll be amenable being paid like a 2 if he knows that the 1 is in. But I would, it is we've got a solid but not spectacular. When they say that the wide receiving, when they say that we have a deep room in any of the skill sets, it means that we don't have a lot of talent there.
Yeah, and some veteran leadership to lead the young guys forward, I think. Yeah.
I think Higgins, not Debo, Sean.
Yeah.
Same.
Higgins over Debo, but Higgins is still asking a lot.
No, of course.
For what he is.
Right.
So
we discussed this one a couple of weeks
Nope.
ago, and we got 3 no's. I'd say yes, but he is injury prone. He is towards the end, so I kind of get that one.
His numbers are falling off.
And then Sean asked, who do we think we need to re-sign? We talked about Cortland. Cortland's not up for a contract negotiation. That was a talk about doing an extension for him.
But he's got 1 year left, and they had to renegotiate prior to last season.
I think Zach Allen might be up. I'll have to look.
No, Allen.
Yeah. What about
McGlinchey? About that.
I think McGlinchey might be up.
Yeah.
Jones is up. He's the one I think it would make sense for us to sign him.
Franklin Jones
costs us too much.
DJ back.
Zach Wilson, Stidham, Cody Barton. That's an interesting one.
Well, that's interesting about our quarterbacks, because that means if neither one of them comes back, we have no quarterbacks after Bo Nix.
I think Sean Payton addressed that this week. One of them will be back. He liked them both. They very well might both be back unless Zach Wilson gets an opportunity to start somewhere. Yeah. They also like being Broncos. That room is a tight room, that quarterback room.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Have you seen their Christmas photos?
That's right. Well,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like them and their wives all went to
I think they're still in Mexico.
Right. Yeah, they're all really friendly. And Stidham was the guy that Sean wanted, so I see all of them staying.
Not for $10 million.
Well, yeah. What was one of you? Jones, definitely yes. We need to keep McGlinchey. McGlinchey was the one I was going to kind of go back around to. That I'm not sure when he was injured. We had a couple of those rookies step up and play pretty decently for what they were doing. one of whom happened to be the brother of one of the guys hanging out in our bar.
Yeah.
And his name, I'm completely forgetting his name right now. So I don't know. I think it might depend on how much money McGlinchey wants. Or do we just pay him because we need a couple of years? And
Yeah,
what?
I think we pay him. We got to protect Bo first
Yeah.
and foremost. We can't leave him out to dry with a rookie out there. Like,
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
He was expensive, more expensive than he was really worth when we signed him, but he did step up at the end of the season, it feels, and I think we should keep him.
We actually got him for cheaper than what the Bears were offering him.
Really?
Bears offered Zach Allen and McGlinchey more money than we offered, and they came with us.
Smart. That's a smart move.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, one last comment. Who do you guys want?
Can I pull up my favorite play? I didn't know. I thought we were going to do a favorite segment. Favorite
Okay.
play,
Yep,
but I just
pull up
want
your favorite play.
the adrenaline boosting play for me was that final Bengals
Yes.
game there. That fourth down,
Mhm.
basically a Hail Mary, even though it wasn't it was like a 25-yard pass, but Bo Nix rolls out off his back foot, just every prayer in the world to take us into overtime, and just connects with Mims on a perfect pass. Mims was there, like split two defenders. Like I was jumping and running around the room on that one. Like that was just spectacular. And yeah, we kicked the field goal to take it into OT. Should have gone for 2 in hindsight. But man, that play was like, that was some
This one.
straight up Mile High magic. Yeah, even though we weren't in Mile High. Roll out, back foot, terrible mechanics. It just like
What are you doing? Okay, it worked. I don't care.
Yeah, with 8 seconds left, 4th and 1, game on the line. Bo Nix delivers. It's like that's all I need to see from the kid. Like
I'm just going to keep replaying it
It's all
because it was an amazing throw. And how Mims came down with that ball.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. Like,
And who had the chop block there? Who's 20? Go roll it back.
is it Burton? Hold on, let's go.
Oh. He's lining up at fullback there.
Yeah, I think that's probably Burton.
He comes over and just
That guy.
gives him
Just
enough.
does not.
Yeah, gives him enough
Yeah.
space just to roll out because he was blitzing and bam.
Oh.
Show the other view of it here when it comes in. It was just that to me was just the cherry on top of the season. It's like I don't care what happens. I didn't even care that I do care that we lost that game, but to show that we're a team that can go up and do this, like hell yeah.
Against Joe Burrow, who a lot of people have considered to be like one of the best comeback kids in the league, and with Cincinnati and everything. And Cincinnati was hot. They were coming in hot at that point.
They
So
were
like yeah, it sucked losing in overtime the way that it happened and everything, but I agree. That's kind of that's I believe what we were talking about. That's the vibe of this team, is that you don't count them out. In past years, we'd get to that and you could just literally see people like, yeah, I don't care anymore. I'm just taking a check. So last question, because I know Todd needs to get to his poker game. Who do you want to see? Where do you think we need to draft? And if we need to draft for need or draft for backup or free agency or either one of those? Steve.
I want to see us draft a Joker. Hence hashtag Joker. I think, it's been all the talk, but like, I think ultimately, other than that kind of immediate need for kind of a real offensive weapon, I think we've shown a good knack for just getting the best player that we can at each spot and watching them develop, even if they're later in the draft. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about it.
Todd.
I think we should find a joker. I'm not sure we should draft a joker. I actually think that that's a position where you need to have some NFL tape to know if they can pull it off because it's such a big ask. I would say that when we look at the skill set positions, we have deep rooms. We certainly have a need for tight end. So I'd like to see us get the Michigan tight end if he's available, Colston Loveland. But I will say that I would not. I would be totally amenable to drafting back and picking up either a second round draft pick. This is a deep draft. I think I think it's likely we'll pick a running back in the first round. We're not going to get Ashton. He's going to the Cowboys, I would guess. But there will be some great running back talent at the back of the first and beginning of the second. So I would be all for us drafting, trading for picks.
Kevin?
All right, I'm going to paint a beautiful, improbable picture, but just close your eyes for a minute. Picture PS2 on one side of the field and Travis Hunter on the other side of the field. Now, just bask in that for a minute. It's never going to happen, but goddamn, we would be unstoppable. Yeah, never going to happen.
Yeah, that would be a pretty picture, but he's not falling that far.
We trade our whole draft for one guy.
He's not going to fall to 20.
No, he's not going to get past 2. Maybe not even 1. The thing for me, Todd said tight ends, obviously. But for me, big questions at linebacker, middle linebacker. Who knows what Singleton's going to be like coming back from his ACL. Barton was good. Barton was great at times. He's got good ball skills. He knows where to be, but not the best tackler. So, I know we got him from your guys there, Sean, in Washington. And he actually outperformed really well. But, just about as good as Josie did, maybe a little bit better. Had more picks for sure. So, I don't know. I just have big questions there. I think that is our biggest question mark, aside maybe from safety on defense, that we need to fill really big. So I'm really watching inside linebacker in the draft.
Tight end, but a tight end who can actually tackle and will actually tackle. I mean, essentially we need a Gronkowski type, Kelsey kind of.
Just I want to make sure. Tackle or block?
Block.
Oh, sorry, tackle, block, whatever, however you want to put it. Somebody who can actually play some defense, because our tight ends got ran over half the time, though they were good in the position, what they were being asked to do. I just don't think we need someone on the next level.
I think our offense was hurt because we did not have a legitimate tight end option. And correct. I think that Bo Nix will be a lot better next year if we have it.
If we can, yeah. I agree. I don't know that I necessarily want to we've been burned on the first round tight ends a couple of times. So I'm a little leery on taking a tight end in the first round or even a running back in the first round. Who knows what we'll see, but I agree on the linebacker. I also think just for purposes of depth, we need to pick up. This is a pretty good offensive line class in this draft from what I read and what I've seen. So we might need to pick up a couple of guys to sit behind McGlinchey and Meinerz and those guys just to learn, because Bo's going to be around for a while, but those guys are going to want to retire. So that kind of point. So Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, or did you? I'm sorry. Did you already say? I'm losing my mind.
Joker.
All right, that's right. I'm like, am I losing my mind or you?
Sean has.
Sean,
not a bad idea.
Well, but the Broncos and Raiders do not conduct commerce off season. I cannot remember ever a trade between the Broncos and the Raiders.
No.
They're not interested in helping each other.
Todd, were these one of the guys you were talking about from Michigan?
No, I'm talking about
Okay.
Colston Loveland.
Okay.
But I
And then-
don't know. I don't know the other two guys.
I'm down with Loveland.
Yeah.
It's great Colorado too. I mean,
Yeah.
And
good connection.
as a Mac girl, I kind of like this Bowling Green idea. Just because I think there's a lot of talent in the MAC that doesn't necessarily get picked up. I mean, they're there. It's just a later draft, but so all right. Well,
I will say I'm looking forward to a lot of things next season, but the thing I'm looking forward to the most is seeing Von Miller back in the Bronco jersey.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that'd be fun.
nothing else for a day.
Hell yeah.
It won't be next season for a day, but he openly said he wants to.
He's a free agent, right?
yeah, but he's going to want a lot of money.
I
Yeah.
don't know. He's made a lot of money.
Let's just give
Yeah,
him the
he's not worth a
jacket
lot of
for a
money.
day and let him retire.
I think he would be a great mentor for this young, dynamic pass rushing defense, and
Yeah,
I would embrace it. And crazier things have happened.
if he wants to sign for the vet minimum, like all day,
Have him
Yeah,
come in
I'm
as our
okay with
rare.
that.
all day.
But if he doesn't want vet minimum, he's been injured a lot. He's had issues since he's gone to the Bills and stuff. I hate to say it, like the reason he became the player he became is because DeMarcus Ware came to our team, and he was kind of the backbone and like teaching Vaughn what to do and how you're supposed to behave and stuff. So I love Vaughn. Don't get me wrong. I think he's amazing. The way that man could cut around a line and get to a quarterback, I've never seen anything like it. But I don't want to pay him what he's probably going to want to come and play
Couple
for us.
million.
Yeah. I'd rather keep Cooper
I'm down.
and
Yeah.
who's the other guy that I am totally blanking on right now?
Benito?
Benito. I'd rather keep them. He
Alright.
wants to come in
He'd be a
and
rotational guy. Like Vaughn wouldn't be the starter,
yeah, I know, but I mean, the guy has freakish, amazing skills. No
Yeah.
doubt about that. I mean, I have a 58 jersey for a reason. We all have a 58 something for a reason.
I think he'll be coach. I think like
That's where I was going to go.
Like,
Like, have him
linebacker
come
coach.
in, retire as a Bronco, and have him be like
on the staff. Yeah.
on the staff
Yeah.
and working with them that way. That I think would be a great idea.
Oh yeah.
Because he's the only one that I know that is able to jump the gun as well as he does to get to, like, as much as he got caught offsides, it was only like 5%. He had a way of being able to time that just perfectly.
Yeah.
So
And Nito's getting good at it too. He got caught on a few this year, but he's getting good.
Yeah.
Learn.
yeah, my friend Handy says we should bring Jameis Winston on as the spirit guy.
Lord deliver me. That was a game against us. All those big sixes.
Yep.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, that's the season in an end. We didn't talk about how much we love the Super Bowl. Anybody have anything else to say about that?
I did not watch the Super Bowl so that the Chiefs would not win.
Oh, thank you for your sacrifice.
So, yes.
I
I
woke up in Madrid the morning after and saw the score. I was like,
it was a glorious game. I mean,
so
my
glorious.
Schadenfreude meter was just max for weeks afterwards during the game, and then I think it still is maxed. Like all the memes and all the clips and everything, I just can't get enough of it all. It's so
yeah.
great.
It's
So
I
great.
still find them immensely.
Yeah, no love lost there.
Yeah, absolutely no love. Well, it's been great chatting with you guys over the season. We'll have to maybe have a little discussion during when the draft's coming up and some of the free agencies that we can talk about.
We'll do a live
And-
show from the draft from Almost Home.
Well, yep. I have an idea for that one.
All right, cool.
We usually get together and watch the first round anyways. It was at the Oak and then we'd go to Almost Home.
Yeah.
we might be going live into another draft special, so we
Yeah.
can talk about that once we have our picks and stuff.
All right.
But yeah, definitely. All right, guys.
Bye.
Gonna miss you guys for the next 4 months, 5 months, something like that until hi, hun.
28 more weeks.
28 more
Broncos.
No.
They go Broncos. Go Broncos.
All right, and on that note, I'm gonna send us out with a video.
That was glorious.
Ew. Did that myself. All right, bye guys. Have a good day.
Bye. See ya.
See you,
Yeah.
everyone.
Go Broncos.